Good morning, everybody. Uber Lady Charlotte here, and it's Sunday, and I think it's about 10 o'clock, I believe. Good morning. Well, I'm getting ready to head out to do some household chores first. I'm gonna wash my clothes because they can almost stand up on their own. Remember, left, right, left. Anyway, gotta go wash some clothes real quick, and I see we got a boost zone going on, so I'm gonna try to wash my clothes and get ready for that. I don't know if I bring my clothes back or if I'll keep them in the trunk or drop them off at my sister's house until I get through Ubering. Trying to be efficient. Anyway, I want to get on here this morning and try to wrap up this jail story. I was going to do it based on each thing that happened to me in there, but I'm going to just give it to y'all at one time. And it may not be as funny, but I'm just going to give it to y'all at one time. Alright, so after you line up for breakfast, then if they let you, you get to talk. Only if they let you talk. And I told you before that I ran into one of my church members. She was actually the jailer. And I felt so embarrassed because I'm looking like I'm going through some hard times or whatever. And I just want to tell her my story. But she said, I don't judge. I'm not judging you. I can't judge you because everybody in here, just because you're in here doesn't necessarily mean you did anything, in which I learned that day. All right, so now it's time for lunch. So they gave me bologna, the juice. Y'all know they gave me juice to Shorty. And they give you a bag of chips. Let me tell you something about that bologna. That bologna is spoiled. I don't care what the jail tell you. That bologna is green, almost a fluorescent green in certain spots. Bologna ain't supposed to look like that. Y'all know what it looked like when it started to spoil. For those of you that eat bologna, I don't eat bologna. I had to then, but I was raised on bologna, and so I said I'd never eat no more damn bologna if I can help it. So I don't eat bologna. Anyway, so I bit into it, and it was horrible. They give you a little pack of mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise. I like Miracle Whip. So I'm thinking, you better eat this or you're going to die. And they could care less. So I'm trying to eat my sandwich, and it's so nasty. It got nothing. The bread is flat. Sometimes the bread had some mold spots on it, and you just have to pluck that off and keep it moving. Again, I learned to survive. I ain't gonna say I learned to survive. I learned to be stronger than I thought I was when I was in jail in 3 days. Just in 3 days, it was like boot camp. All right, so one of the ladies across from me said, "You know what to make that taste better?" And I said, "What?" She said, "It's gonna sound weird, but it's what we do." I said, "What is it that y'all do?" Because I didn't want to say we, because we won't be doing this no more. She said, "Well, what we do is you take your potato chips and you crunch them up and you put them on top of your bologna so it'll get some flavor." I'm like, "Oh, really?" She's like, "Yeah." So I crunched them up, laid them on top of my bologna, and I'm gonna tell you what, with that mayonnaise holding them crumbs down on that bologna, there you go, you good. I'm like, cool. All right, so now we've gotten through lunch. We could talk a little bit, and I met a lady that was sneaking and smoking crack, and she and I was able to talk. She just opened up to me and talked to me. She don't want to smoke crack, but she's hanging out with the wrong people, and and I asked her why was she in there, and she said that they had gone boosting. For those of y'all that don't know, boosting is stealing. So they had gone boosting, and dang, the laundromat closed. Okay, it is Sunday. All right, so she said, but she got caught. And well, her friends got caught too, but they got released, and she didn't get released. She didn't have nobody to come and get her. And she was just talking about how she sang on the choir at church, and she go to Bible study every Wednesday night. She go to church every Sunday, and she's just torn, with all that she goes through. But she's got this drug habit she can't kick. So we talked about that a little bit. We talked about, why are you doing drugs? What are you running from? What are you hiding? Hiding. Who are you running from, and what are you hiding? What are you afraid of? So we talked about that, and I tried to help. I tried, because I've had some vices of my own in my life. It wasn't drugs, but I've had my own vices, whether it be men or whether it be gambling or just partying. Everybody has a vice. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So don't never look down on nobody. Everybody's got something that has the potential to hold you back. All right, so I met her, talked with her, and then later on, I met a lady named Valaquez, a Mexican lady. She was so short. Valaquez might have been she wasn't much taller than Shorty, but I think Valaquez might have been, Valaquez was about 5'3", 5'4". She was short and Shorty, but she had such a broken spirit about her. I mean, you ever cried so much to where you can't cry no more? There's no more tears. Your eyes burn because you can't cry no more, and they're red, puffy, and swollen, and your heart hurt. It feels like you're on a roller coaster, and when you go up to the top and then you come down, how that roller coaster makes you feel on the inside. But you feel like that because whatever's got you hurting that bad. Whether it's a man done broke up with you, a woman done dumped you, you done got fired from your job, or you ain't got the rent money, whatever. That sickening roller coaster feeling. And I saw that on her face. And she sat across from me. So I said hello to her, and she just nodded. And just when she looked at me, I wanted to cry. That's how pitiful and sad she was. And I said, this is a broken woman. So she didn't speak English. I found that out because I kept trying to talk to her. And she kept saying, she don't speak English. I know that much Spanish sometimes. But she would need a food, and I kept pushing her food to her, and she wouldn't eat it. And they told me that she hadn't eaten since she'd been there. And I said, how long she been here? They was like, well, she'd been here about 3 days, and she hadn't eaten anything. She may drink her juice, but she won't eat anything. Now, Valaquez did understand English. She just couldn't speak it. So it's like, okay. So I said, honey, you got to eat. We're all in a bad situation here, but you got to eat. And she just shook her head real slow, no. And then she wanted to cry, but she had nothing. She had the tissue in her hand, but she had nothing. So there was another lady sitting beside Valaquez, and I said, what's wrong with her? She said, I don't know. I said, well, do you speak Spanish? Because I seen her reading a letter from a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was Hispanic, and she was reading the letter. She said, yeah, I can ask her. So I told her, I said, but make sure she wants to tell me. Don't force it on. Just make sure she wants to tell me. So she asked Valaquez, why is my car running real? I need to get that oil changed. Sorry, guys. Okay, anyway, so she asked Valaquez, why was she in there? Come to find out, this woman was so broken and just so weak because she was an illegal immigrant, and this was her third time being caught in Charlotte. Charlotte had some type of law at the time, I don't know what it is now, that if you were a legal immigrant and you had been caught multiple times in Charlotte, they could deport you. The police could deport you. Well, she was on her way to being deported. No, she wasn't being deported this time, because that's why she was crying that's why she was so upset. She was driving down the street, going to pick up one of her children from school, when she got pulled over by the police, and she didn't have any ID and all that, and they found out what the deal was. And this was, she had been there 3 days. Oh, but she had come from somewhere else. That's right, she had come from somewhere else, and she had to come back to court. So she had been sent away, but she had come back and had to get her sentence. You know they sentenced that woman to 10 years in prison? 10 years in prison. I wanted to cry. But see, her husband didn't know where she was. Her children didn't know where she was. And that's why she was so broken. Because she was just like snatched off the street and nobody knew where she was. And they had sentenced this woman to 10 years in prison. 10. Didn't deport her. 10 years in prison. So I just kind of felt like I had to take care of her. I felt the need to take care of her and watch out for her, because I didn't know if she was going to hurt herself or try to hurt herself or what. All right, fast forwarding. This is on a Sunday that this happened, that I found this out. All right, come Sunday, it's time for Bible study. They ask you, would any of you ladies like to go to Bible study? Well, I got to get out my cell. So yes, I will go to Bible study. But the cells were open too, so you can go lay on your bunk, which they don't do that very often, I found out. You just can't go lay on your bunk anytime you want to. It depends on your jailer. So, but Valaquez's room was upstairs on the top of the pod, diagonal from mine. So I couldn't see Valaquez from my bunk. But I came out and I said, I want to go to Bible study. But when I came out, Valaquez was standing in her window, looking out her door. So I don't know if she told him to shut the door or what she told him to do, but her door was shut. And everybody else's door was open. I mean, you could open the door and come out. All right, so I looked up because I see Valaquez waving, and I'm looking around like, is she talking to me? And I did like this, and she said, and so Valaquez is waving. So it came to me, Valaquez wants to go to Bible study. So I raised my hand because I don't know what to do or what to say. So I raised my hand, and she said, yes, Belle. This is not the church member. This is another lady, shift change, another day. So I said, I think Valaquez wants to go to Bible study. So she looked up there and she unlocked Valaquez's door. I don't know why they have Valaquez's door locked from the beginning, because she wasn't a threat. I don't know if she was going to hurt herself or something. I don't know. Anyway, so when Valaquez came out onto the I guess the ledge, not ledge, but her hallway upstairs, the landing, she yelled up there and asked Valaquez if she wanted to go to Bible study. And Valaquez shook her head, yeah. So Valaquez came downstairs. And, you had to line up where your name was. They don't care who. So you need to remember other people's names. But the longer you there, you start to remember faces. You better keep up. All right. So then we got into this little. It's kind of like a vestibule. There was a glass door over here and a glass door over here, and we were caught in the hallway between here because the jailer had to go do something, and you have to walk on these red lines or yellow lines. And so there was a girl that was in there, and young girl, the chick might have been about 21, 22, and she was tall. She taller than me. She was like 5'8", 5'9". I'm 5'5". And so I don't know what the heck was wrong with this chick, but she had been in there a year. And I don't know what she did. But she was one of them mouthy, ratchet chicks. You know, you want to piss me off, be mouthy and ratchet. And somehow, anyway, have anything to do with something that I got something to do with, then I'm on your ass. I'm sorry, y'all. Uber Lady Charlotte ain't all that nice. But I just don't like injustice. I don't like people taking advantage of people. All right, so she goes up to Valaquez. Valaquez is behind me, but when she walked past me, the girl ain't got out of line. And I'm thinking, why the hell is she out of line? I can't get out of line. So she walks down into Valaquez. And so I turn and I'm looking. And we had these tags around our neck, these paper tags, and it had your picture and what your charges were. Because we were all in there until our court date on Monday. All right, so, and they had your charges and your picture and all that crap, and when you came in and all that.